All right, guys, we're back. After technical difficulties, we are back up. We're still going to do the live, and Shantel. Hey, Glory all day. How you doing? Hey, Hankerson 70. Hey, Hankerson 679. Hey, Shantel.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are
I'm
you?
doing well. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Well, turn it down. So you heard what we were playing, right?
No, I didn't hear it.
We were playing your music from Bad Habits. Okay.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us. You know I've been excited about this. I've been talking about this, I think, for almost 2 years. I knew this book was going to come out in 2025, but as soon as we heard you and you did the first song, I'm jumping ahead of what I want to share, but as soon as we heard that first song that you delivered,
Mhm.
it's like I was addicted. Like you are my bad habit. You're one of my bad habits.
Well, I appreciate that. It was very fun working with you too.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So I'm going to tell this little story about how all this started,
Okay.
right? Because it will lead up to like why you were just the perfect person to me to project or to create the persona of Roxanna in that music as well. Um, so when I thought about this, right, this all started getting to know you and creating this album started with some book covers.
Yeah.
I fell in love with some book covers. It was a series. My man at Go On Right, I got to give a shout out, James, the book cover designer. I looked at those book covers and I thought, wow, these are singer songwriters, they're
Mhm.
musicians of some sort, right? And then, of course, they are lesbians on the cover, and one had kind of like a church sort of background, right? The stained window and everything. And I was like, oh, this is a Christian gospel singer and her reverend. And they're going to get together. And all the controversy about being outed, you know, and being this famous Christian gospel singer. Gotta be that story. And then I saw the other cover for Roxanna, and I thought, oh, film on film. They look just like sisters, but you know they're lovers. But how? In what way? Right?
Mhm.
And I thought, well, here's an opportunity to do a little therapy for myself, which I've been doing in all my books. I've been writing about things I know or the way I wish this world would be. So I'm like, oh, Roxanna, she's got to go to rehab. She's this young R&B singer, went through a very deep depression and then ended up in rehab. And what did she find in rehab? Well, in addition to group therapy, she also found Naomi Wright, her counselor, who she ends up falling in love with.
Mhm.
And then you did the theme music for my book, Kiss and Tell.
Yeah.
Kiss and Tell, the theme song. And that's all about, you know, this young, dark-skinned woman who wants to be a famous movie star, actress.
Mhm.
And then, of course, her bad boy hip hop artist, Diamond Stud. And then that's what was on the cover. It looked like, oh, these are hip hop artists and her girlfriend, but this is more like back in the day. Again, long story long, all that was I love those book covers, and then I started to create those stories. And the first story was, of course, about Diamond Stud because Kiss and Tell was coming out first. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I gotta get a rapper. Well, first, let me back up. I said I can write my own rap music. I don't need no rapper.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a writer. I know how to write
Okay.
rap music too. And it was horrible. And my partner was like, let me go find you somebody. And we went around and around. I even got this guy to do it, and he was really good, but I wanted a woman. Diamond Stud is a female.
Yeah.
And so, but he helped me to BeatStars. And remember we talked about how you love
Oh,
those beats? He
yeah.
helped me to beat stars, right? This is God. This is what I'm trying to get to. God moving this, you know, in this way for me, right? Book cover design, me wanting to be a rapper, realizing my partner said, you can't write. You just stick with the stories, the fiction, not the music.
Yeah.
And then meeting this guy, and then going to BeatStars, then circling back to Fiverr, found my diamond stud.
Mm-hmm.
I still wanted her to use my lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
It was a horrible thing. I was like, oh, she can't. She's no rapper. And my partner was like, no, you can't write any beat. You can't write any bars. I said beats. You can't write no bars. What? Had her to do her own thing. Just let y'all do what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
Came back beautiful. And then I kept going back, song after song after song.
Mm-hmm.
And then after we finished that, I'm like, okay, now Roxanna. I got to do Roxanna. My partner again, W.O. Tracy, got to thank her because she found you on Fiverr. And I was like, oh, okay, well, she gonna just do one song. I'm gonna just let her do one song. I can't be paying no more songs. And so you did. Was it Bring Us Back? Bring Us Back. I told you the concept.
Yeah.
We sat here that Sunday and we were just like, what? Why does this woman get me? What the hell? She don't even know me. I gave you a concept and you turned that into the most beautiful, soulful, heart-wrenching song like you knew me and you knew these characters. Oh, I'm serious. You're going to get praise all night. Do you understand what I'm saying? I would have waited for you to midnight, and my auntie don't need to be up at midnight, okay? But I still would have waited on you because you touched me so deep, right?
Aw.
And then I was hooked because I was like, okay, now another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another one. And I love your professionalism. What I missed out on saying was at first I didn't want to do the music. I wanted to do a book trailer.
Oh.
And I was looking at some local um, filmmakers in this community, and I tried and tried and tried. I had the money. They were like, "Oh yeah, I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later." Never did get around to me. Again, God, right? That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't the route I was supposed to take. I was supposed to come to you. I was supposed to come to Hollywood Tay and all the Nigerian singers and the singer from Zimbabwe that created these three amazing
Mm-hmm.
albums. Those doors should have remained closed because I never would have met you.
Yeah.
Okay. And you never would have made me take out a loan on my car to pay you for the rest of my life. So thank God I'm in debt
Right.
to
Yeah.
you. To you. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And what I loved about you was that again, not only did you get me and your musicality, if I'm saying that right, you have to school me. I love the fact that you were professional.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you the content that I wanted. I gave you the beats, and you said it's going to take this time, and you never failed. And you didn't just throw something back at me.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't understand how I listen to this music all all the time, right? I've shared it with close friends. It resonates with them as well. And you're not in the community, you're an ally to us, but you didn't say, well, I can't resonate with that. That's
Mm-hmm.
not me. It's you knew me, in that music. And I know you're going to touch so many other people's hearts through this music, as well as your own career that you have already. And we're going to talk about that too. But I said all that to say that this is a perfect time for gratitude. We're going towards Thanksgiving, all that time with family and stuff, that I am so grateful to you and all the work that you did on this album and even creating the anthem for Q Out Books. We created it earlier and I was angry and I was like, tell them this and tell them that. And then my heart softened and I was like, let's be more inspirational and kind. And you
Yeah.
got right on it. You recreated the song and it's a beautiful song. And the Sinner in Me. I'll talk about
Mm-hmm.
why I asked you to do that as well. But I just, again, I want to thank you so much for being here tonight. And I also want to thank you for all you've done. Soleil! Yeah.
Hey y'all.
So before we start talking about the ideals behind the book and also in the songs, I do want to play that first one that you did for me. And y'all can see why I got hooked on Miss Shantel Soleil. But I also want to talk about your career as well. All right? So
Okay.
my DJ over here is going to play Bring Us Back. And y'all let me know if you can hear it. Toast to the good times. Let's toast to what we had. I'm looking for life, but I think we reached the end.
again. I'm crazy in love with you, but you drive me crazy, oh baby, you. See, it started off good to you. Turn into someone I do not know. It's hurting me to stay with you. Deep down, I wanna spend every day with you. I don't really know what to say to you. I think we should toast to the good times. Let's toast to what we had. I'ma love you for life, but I think we really have. And even if we don't make amends, love will bring us back again. I love you more than just a friend. I know will bring us back again. Hurts me.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was beautiful. It was beautiful. I mean, it's later in the story, they're breaking up and stuff, and it's become a codependent relationship, but they love each other, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
she's like, but I know I gotta let you go because I'm hurting you, right?
Yeah.
But hopefully love will bring us back again. And did you not nail that? Did you not nail that?
I did. I did. I
So
did.
how do you do that? Like, how are you able to really resonate with people's stories and ideals and stuff and bring such beautiful music like that?
Um, well, I've been songwriting for quite some time
Mm-hmm.
now, and I really pride myself on being a good writer. Um, I feel like being a singer and being a writer is like two different things. Like you have people who can sing the house down, but you have people who can write things that resonate with
Yeah.
people. So, um, I just have a gift, and it's just easy for me to like you gave me the beat first, which is always perfect. I find a beat that really resonates with me, that I really feel like is speaking to
Yeah.
me. And then once you give me what you want to say, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, um, I try to find times like if say I write a song about being happy, I won't just think about one instance when I was happy. I think
Mm-hmm.
about multiple instances, multiple situations where I felt happy. So what you gave me, I've been in that situation before, whether just because this is about two women. I've personally been in a relationship when it was toxic. It was time to go. I didn't want to go, but I
Mm-hmm.
needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
It has run its course. So I just put myself in those shoes. How did I feel? How would I feel if I was in a situation? And
Mm-hmm.
just pretty much being real. Like,
Yeah.
how would I feel if this was me? I put myself in the character's shoes and just wrote a song, and
Yeah.
it sounds easier. I mean, to me, it's easy, but it's hard to kind of explain to other people because it's just so like natural for me to do.
No, it makes sense. And I think it goes to the fact that just because, in this world I've been talking about this a lot about, diversity and stuff
Hmm.
and being inclusive, right? We are not different. I say that all the time.
Yeah.
I don't care what your sexuality is, your marital status, what you look like, your race, your beliefs, we all have our own higher powers, even if that higher power is within you, right?
Hmm.
We still have a common denominator of we're human beings. So we
Yeah.
love, we hate,
Hmm.
we mourn, we're joyous. We have something we believe in. We all want to, I think, leave our mark, right? We
Yeah.
all want to feel like we matter in this world. So, yes, to your point, like you're making my case too, that we shouldn't be divisive in this world
Hmm.
because we are all alike
Yeah.
at the end of the day. And we all got that cousin I don't want to deal with. I don't care what, no. Oh, here
Yeah.
come auntie. Oh, she gonna ask me when I'm gonna get married. No, auntie. Well, I am, but not the marriage you want me
Yeah.
to be, right? So why can't we do that even in our work as well? And
Hmm.
that's why, even though I write steamy romance or social conscious writing with a side is sexy for the lesbian community or the LGBTIQA plus community, these stories resonate
Yeah.
outside our community, right?
Hmm.
And that's why I also make sure that characters in the stories aren't just lesbian. They have friends, they have, ex-lovers that are heterosexual, or
Hmm.
I bring in their families and that their families are sometimes accepting of their sexuality and sometimes not. I'm doing more trans characters as main characters and secondary characters as well, because again, we I see this all the time in my life, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't get exposed to everything or everybody, but it's time to get exposed in some way. And why not with these books as well?
Yeah.
So I do get what you're saying, that you're able to see that because you go through your own experiences,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like bad habits, I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way
Yes.
because you again got me there too, right? This Roxana is a very it's a I won't say heavy because I don't want to run people away from the book, but it's a pretty emotional book for this
Hmm.
woman, right? Because it's also my way of dealing with therapy in my own way, right?
Hmm.
Having that mama manager that Roxana had, but I
Hmm.
had my mama
Yeah.
who managed me in everything I did, right? And having that codependency that wasn't
Mm.
healthy. And when you wrote it and you said you don't even know you're a bad habit,
Yeah.
and and a lot of times we don't know we're bad habits,
Hmm.
even to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
But my mom definitely didn't see. If she were alive today, she would not understand the things that happen in our relationship
Hmm.
that has changed me for the better and also for the
Hmm.
worse, right? So this is me letting go of the mama issues because I do that a lot in my stories. I write about
Yeah.
mamas and saying, you know, I make peace with my mother. Like I totally understand. None of us are
Yeah.
perfect, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm a bad habit to people sometimes, and she was a bad habit to some people sometimes. But you learn from that, right?
Yeah.
You want to hope that they do, right?
Yeah.
So I want to play bad habits now. Yeah.
Some things never change. Some people always stay the same. Heard you to say you don't want to play. You've done enough damage, time to walk away. Intoxicating, you could play. 'Cause girl, you play all day. But no more, not today. This one habit I'm breaking bad habits. I swear you're the worst at it. I walk away and I come right back at it. You don't even know you're my bad habit. Bad habit. I'm breaking bad habits. I swear you're the worst at it. I walk away and I come right back at it. You don't even know you're my bad habit.
Ah! Is that hubby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm too caught up in it, don't wanna go back. You know what you did, but you still
Thank you,
want it.
Stephanie.
You are the reason I can't see you bad for me. So I gotta do what's best for me. It's deeper than just you and me. Now I gotta stand up for me. I'm breaking bad habits. I swear you're the
Okay.
worst at it.
Ah.
Yes, I love that one.
So let's talk
Yeah, I love.
about your partnership with your husband. He said that was the love. He loved that one.
Yeah,
Love recording that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So my husband is actually my engineer. He's my audio engineer. So everything I send to you, he mix and masters everything.
Yeah.
He makes sure my vocals are good. He makes sure, like when you say, "I want your vocals louder," he's the one that does
Okay.
all that, all
Yes.
that
Yes.
stuff. So that's him. We've been friends way before we were dating.
Hmm.
He was my engineer. We met in the studio,
Yeah.
and we used to work together in the studio. And then that's when we started dating, when we started working together. So
Okay.
he's been an engineer for 10 plus years, and
Hmm.
he's really good.
All right. Yeah, he is excellent. I love the partnership on that. I do. I do.
Yeah.
So let's talk more about your career, right? And where you started as well. Because I do want to talk about this one time you had written this song and you performed it, and it was a I guess you want to call it Christian gospel song, and it was so beautiful. You had it on YouTube,
Mm.
and I was like, okay, you got to write this song for me. You got to bail me out of my feelings about something. We'll talk about that later. We'll play The Sinner in Me.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so do you come from a Christian
I
background?
do. I grew up, my dad was a pastor, so I was a preacher's daughter, and
Uh-oh.
and I was a rebel child
Hmm.
for a little while. But you know, I had to find God for myself. I had to find my own
Hmm.
relationship with God, you know.
Okay.
Growing up in church was very religious. I didn't like the religious aspect of my relationship with God. So when I thought about God, it was always like, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta be, nah, 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 nah.
Hmm.
And it took for me to turn away and learn for myself to find out who is God to me. Like, what does all of this really
Yeah.
mean? I know what I was taught growing up. I know the Bible forward and backward, but what does this really mean though? Like to me.
Hmm.
So I am a Christian, but that's my
Yeah.
background. Um, yeah, but like the song you talking about, that was my first gospel song I've ever done.
Girl,
So I really don't write gospel. I still stay in my genre, but I
you need
can.
to write gospel too. It
Yeah,
was beautiful.
I'm getting into that. I'm getting into that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So to talk about when you got started, like with your career and everything.
Um, so I started writing music in
Okay.
2016. I started officially recording in 2017. So that's how long I've been writing music since 2016.
Hmm.
But I was officially an artist 2017. I started off hot, got signed
Yeah.
immediately, and just went through ups and downs in my artistry. Went overseas for a little while, and I was doing that overseas. Um, but for the most part, I've just been an independent artist,
Hmm.
focusing on neo soul, R&B, hip hop here and there because I do rap as well.
Okay.
But in the past, I moved to Atlanta, so in the past 3 years is when I started my business,
Hmm.
and I was just like, I love writing music, but I always felt unfulfilled because I didn't want to be famous for music. I wanted my artistry to be respected,
Yeah.
compensated, and appreciated. And
Hmm.
as an independent artist, you don't get compensated. You're underappreciated. You're undervalued. So I wasn't really getting fulfillment really from being an artist.
Hmm.
And I was asking God like, why did you give me this gift if
Yeah.
I just can't do anything with it?
Yeah.
And he just revealed to me like you can write really well. You can write that good for a reason. You don't just have to write songs. You can write jingles for
Yeah.
people. You have a good voice. You can do infomercials. Like you can write about any topic under the sun. Think about what more you can do outside of just being an artist and singing for people. Like you can do things that are lucrative as well. So
Yeah.
once he showed me how to use my gift to actually make money, like it's different when you can make money from something like a gift that God gave you. You don't have
Hmm.
to go outside. It's
Yes.
already in you. So
Yeah.
once I discovered that, my first year, like business just took off. I was like, oh
Yeah.
wow, like I can really do this. Like I found like a new identity. I didn't feel so restricted to just being Shantel Soleil, the artist, and she does shows. And no, now I'm Shantel Soleil, the jingle lady, business owner,
Yes.
and I do this professionally. So that's how things have been going. And then I
Okay.
came across you,
Yes.
and yeah, like working with you really helped boost my confidence, and because sometimes you know you're doing well, but it's always
Hmm.
nice when you have a client who gives you that feedback, who gives
Yeah.
you that confirmation, that motivation, the
Yeah.
appreciation, the recognition. It's like, wow, okay, so I am good at this, so I can
Girl,
keep doing
yes.
this.
Yes. And I'm glad you brought that up. Like, sometimes you need that confirmation and stuff.
Hmm.
So you have shared like on YouTube and your vlogs and stuff like that, that at one time, it was very difficult for you to remain positive.
Hmm.
Do you want to share that here a little bit as inspiration to others? You don't have
Yeah.
to though.
No, yeah, like I moved away in 2020, at the end of 2021.
Hmm.
I moved to Atlanta. Well, we were just dating at the time. We weren't fiance, husband, wife, anything like that. We moved to Atlanta, and in that year, 2020, I moved back from Japan,
Hmm.
and to go from that high of being an independent artist, having a fan base out there, just everything I wanted out of artistry, I got that in Japan. And
Hmm.
then COVID hit, and I had to move back home.
Hmm.
It's like how I view myself wasn't how I was viewed by other people. You know, like
Okay.
I have a fan base overseas, but when I come
Hmm.
home, nobody knows me, nobody's checking for me.
Yeah.
I got to start at ground zero to, you know, and then just a lot of business stuff, signing bad deals, people selling me dreams, you know, people telling me, no, you're a star, you're this, you're that. And you knowing inside that you are, but it's just nothing in life is adding up to it. Nothing that people aren't pouring into you the way you're pouring into
Hmm.
them. It just got to a point where, um, because I had so much of my life was wrapped up in my artistry, like my finances, my time, everything I did was to pursue being an independent artist. I had no doubt in my mind that I was gonna make it. Like I just knew that somehow, some way, a door was gonna open and I was gonna make it.
Hmm.
But at this time, I'm, you know, 26, 27.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on now.
Right.
Real life is knocking at the door. Like, what are we
Right.
doing? Like, what are we doing career wise? Like, financially, I've poured so much into this. I haven't got anything out of it. And it honestly was like, I know this sounds crazy, but it was really like a midlife crisis that I went through.
Hmm.
And music didn't bring me satisfaction, even though that was my outlet. It was turning into my stressor, and it was
Yeah.
actually making me depressed because
Hmm.
my happiness was hinged upon how well my music did. If people supported it, if people liked it, it was like I no longer had control of my happiness,
Right.
and it was so out there for people to engage, people to pretty much bring me fulfillment, and that just had me all toe up, like all toe up in the head. And then when I moved to Atlanta, you know, still pursuing my dreams, but I was able to see the other side of what I was trying to pursue.
Hmm.
Wherein here in Virginia, I thought it was I need fans. When I moved to Atlanta, it was no, you need money, and I'm like, more money than I already invested. I said, nah. I said, nah, Jesus, this ain't it. You're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. This ain't it. So I really went through an identity crisis. So I didn't so much have to lay down my dream of being an artist, but to a certain extent I did because
Hmm.
it was detrimental to my mental health. Like this supposed to be something that's your outlet, something that is your stress reliever,
Right.
not something that's ultimately bringing you more stress.
Hmm.
But like I said, in the midst of all that, finding my business was when I really got my aha moment. Like that's really where things turned around, where I kind of like took back ownership of my craft,
Hmm.
where it's like I'm still gonna do music, yes I
Hmm.
am, but I'm gonna do it expecting different outcomes.
Um,
And when I do it, I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it because I want to be famous. I'm not doing it because I want X amount of followers. I'm not doing it. I put music out to,
yeah.
because that's what I enjoy to do. This is my hobby. This is my good habit. But the way I was going before was a really bad habit, and I was
Yeah.
allowing just the hustle and the bustle of wanting to be an artist. It was just It was just tearing me down mentally. Like I'm talking about crying every day, honey. It was just not it.
Mm.
But I think that's a good lesson to
Really
artists,
is.
creatives, writers, anybody. Don't allow your passion to become a stressor. Keep it your
Hmm.
passion, and when you do see that it's starting to stress you out, that's when you have to take a step back and realign. Okay, what's my goal here? Like, what is the end goal here? Because sometimes the end goal has to change, and
Yeah.
that's how it is as a creative. You just have to roll with the punches where you are in life. At 21, 22, it was cool putting on money toward music,
Mhm.
but at 30, with a family,
Yeah. No,
that's
the
not gonna
money.
work.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. Yes. Shout out Nate Bankos. Thank you, boo.
And great advice, precious jewels. Yes.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, I definitely resonate with that, and I've been up until today going through all that, like up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
I was on a live after we did the Black Reader Appreciation event, and my heart was so full. I got on my own. This is so good. Somebody downloaded my books. Oh, thank God. I'm like, oh my, have we gone to that now? But you feel like, hey, I know I have stories to tell, and
Mhm.
I created this for this community, right?
Yeah.
why are you not knocking on the door? Why aren't you flipping those pages and stuff? And I was doing everything, and I work a full-time job in corporate, and so I don't need the money. I was doing this because, like you said, it's my passion, and it's an expensive habit. I mean, hobby, right?
Yes.
But was just not getting the reads and stuff. And you had mentioned about, it doesn't matter about the followers and all that, but yet we do look at followers, right?
Yes.
How many people like this one? I did all this
Yeah.
work. Look at this music, this soundtrack. You gave me 12 today. Was it today or yesterday, Tracy? Yesterday we had on this I had on this real loud red shirt with positive mind, positive vibes, positive something else, like positive faith or something like that. And we just did a quick little gym pitch, like, oh, yeah, let's take a picture in the gym. And that got it resonated with people. It got over 30 some odd likes. I'm like, I just did it right before I worked out. I just thought, take a picture. But this video, this music trailer, how about all this music? It's got I got to boost it to get attention. And so you just feel defeated. And like you said, I've gone into depression over it, cried a lot, wore WO Tracy out with, why?
Yes.
And it came to me today, I kept getting all these different signs. And one of them was Viola Davis. I saw that on Instagram, and she was like, you weren't supposed to fit in.
Yeah.
She questioned, why I don't fit into this world. Why was I born here? And I thought that most of my life, why am I here? I'm so different.
Yeah.
And I resonate with that in the sense that if I hadn't been different, there are a lot of things that I've achieved I wouldn't have achieved, because it's when you lack things and you don't want to just, what's the word? I won't say bitch. Well, I did say bitch about it. You don't want to complain about it, right? You actually get up and do something. That's what's important. And we only typically do stuff when it hurts, right? Or change. So if I had a fit in, I just would have been status quo, and I would have went along with everybody else. And then I thought about, well, how about all those Black inventors that we have no idea the things that we have today, they were created by Black people, and we have no idea what their names are. So I started looking them up and realized their goal wasn't to be 90K or 100K followers, or 1 million followers on social media, or I got so many likes, or their books getting sold. They saw a need, they were discontent, and then they started doing things to make it different for themselves, which ultimately made it different for all of us, not just in this community, right? And so that has changed my attitude. You cannot hate the thing you love the most because you're worrying about popularity. You're leaving something for this earth. And so if Andre Lee is not recognized until after I'm gone, at least I've left this catalog of work that will be there when you are ready, right? So I, again, resonate with that. But I want to tell this last story about one of the songs that you wrote because we were talking about religion and how being in church sometimes is just about the religion. So I was at my old job and I was having a meeting, and I think I've kind of told you this story. And the lady just says, my coworker says, "Oh yeah, I'm really good with you being who you are." By my mom, when I grew up, she used to watch these shows, and she saw this character and said, they're gay. And she said, I don't hate the sinner, just the sin. And I think she, in her own way, was telling me she's an ally, or she wants to be, but it was very sarcastic, and it was offensive to me. And instead of acting out on that, I came to you and I said, "Look, I have this situation. I need this song." And you were like, "Got it." Tracy,
Wow.
will you play it? Called "The Sinner in Me."
Wow.
So I got you.
Don't go around judging nobody else. That's in the Bible, you don't gotta take it from me. You say you love God, but that's not how you treat me. It's like all you can see is the sinner in me. But if God can love you He can surely love me. All you wanna see is the sinner in me. I hope God judge you just like you judge me. Always judging me, saying how could God use you? Say come as you are, then suddenly you condemn me for everything. Like he would know sick as the first stone. Before you judge me, better judge your own. If you look deep inside, I'm sure you'll find your sin is no different from mine. It's like all you can see is the sinner in me. But if God can love you, he can surely love me. All you wanna see is the sinner in me. One day God will judge you just like you judge me.
Ah,
Yes.
I gave that to her too. I said, "You inspired me." So I wrote this song about it.
Oh my gosh, that is too funny.
But it was spot on. You were like, "Don't worry, I got it." I was like, "You get it? I got
Yeah.
it."
No, I really do because like I said before, like I had to find God again for myself outside of a religious church.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when I wrote that song from me, like that's how I would feel
Yeah.
like at times when I go into church. People look at, oh, you do secular music, you do this, you do that, and it's like, God created each one of us specifically how He created us
Hmm.
because certain people will only get ministered to because of how we
Yeah.
are. Like, you know, it's people who I can relate to, who other people can't relate to. It's people that you can't relate to that I can't relate to. So like,
Hmm.
you don't, God isn't expecting people to be cookie cutters because how would you feel
I
me?
do.
Like I really felt like people were just like, well, you talk like this and you talk like that and you do this and you do that. So how can you be saved? It's like,
Yeah.
we're not doing all that.
Okay.
We not doing all that. So when I wrote the song, we was here. We was here with it.
Yes. Like, no worries.
Yeah, I was like, I got this.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. And then also I have to segue into another song because you allowed me at least to participate with a little intro at the beginning. Y'all gonna hear me not sing though. Don't worry. It's just a little bit of that was I influenced it.
Yes.
You
Yes.
made me all right. She got there we go.
Hey ladies, you ever been in love so strong you didn't know your left
That's
from
me,
your right?
y'all.
Turned you upside down and around and promised one day she'd be your wife, but now she's gone? Come on ladies, you know what I mean. This is for all you lovers who thought you did me wrong, but you did me right. You just taught me how to fight, and now I'm reborn. Lost it all, had nothing left. Gave my
Yes, Stephanie.
all, no love is left. I held my own, stuck out my chest, took 10 toes down, came out my best. Turns out you made me alright. Yeah, you made me alright. You made me alright. So you made me. It's alright. They hold it cool now, so I could get it right. I had to face the truth. You know you and I thought you was the one. Was gonna make you my wife, but you ain't showing proof. I love you all your life. Lost it all, had nothing left. Gave my all, no love is left. I held my own, stuck out my chest, took 10 toes down, came out my best. Turns out you made me alright. Yeah, you made me alright.
Yes. So,
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
now
Hey, ladies.
okay. Have you been in love?
That is too funny.
Yes. So, I want to give you an opportunity, though, to talk more about yourself or anything you want to share with the community as we wind down. Because at the end, I'd also like to share with everybody the anthem that you created as well. But this is your space to talk about whatever you want to at this point, and take your time.
Um, I mean, I guess I would just want to say that this was doing all these songs with you was very, very fun. Um, you were extremely easy to work with because the synopsis you would give me about the book and about the characters, it made it so easy for me to write. I guess hence why the songs came out exactly how you wanted
Yeah.
to. But the process was very smooth. Like you would give me clear, concise what you want to talk about, and I just had fun doing it. I think I've done other books as well, but these are the most songs I've done for like a group of books. Like so
Hmm.
that was a fun experience. Hearing the songs back, like you don't hear something for a while.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, no. These are really, really, really good. Like
Yes, because you did it. Girl, what are you talking about? I listen
yeah.
to it every day.
Yeah, like not to toot my own horn, but honey, these are really good.
30.
But but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I talk about my business. You know what I do? I do
Hmm.
jingles, infomercials, songwriting, book narrations. Trying to get into animated voiceovers.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but
And if people wanted to reach out to you and connect with you and collaborate with you,
um,
what should they? How
they
should they
can
do?
reach out to me on my Jingle Lady Instagram. It's at the Jingle Lady __.
All right.
Message me there. I'm actually trying to currently. I'm under like a rebranding
Okay.
reboot. Just refreshing my portfolio and
Hmm.
trying to get my new website up. Because I'm trying to get away from Fiverr. I'm trying to
Okay.
slowly get away from it because the fees are crazy on both
Okay.
ends, the seller and the buyer. Like the way they find both of us is crazy.
Okay.
But that's what I'm working on
All
now. My
right.
new website. But yeah,
All right.
it was a fun process making these songs.
Yes, yes. And so, in case you're not available for New Year's Eve, because we're actually going to jump on live and just hang out with some people, 15 minutes per person, giving these people heads up. I'll be knocking on your door, just to talk so that you can talk about your year in review. Like, just a quick thing, like, what are you most proud of? What was the most challenging thing for this year? And then where do you see yourself going in 2025? So I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
What was your most challenging? What's your most proud of? I think I know one thing you most proud of.
Yes.
And where do you see
Most
yourself going in 2025?
um okay, so you said most proud of. Did you say the hardest thing
Yeah,
I
what
had
was
to
the
do?
most challenging thing this year for you? What was
Okay.
the greatest thing for you? And where do you see yourself going?
Okay. So the most challenging thing about this year was trying to balance running my business while being pregnant. Like I'm literally messaging clients in labor like,
Ooh.
"Hey, I'm so sorry I got to cancel your order, baby, but I'm in labor." I had to cancel like 3 orders in labor. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but they waited for me to come out and I got the orders completed. But
Okay.
that was very hard to take like a 3-4 month hiatus from doing business. That was not easy, but
Yeah.
it was cool. So that was the hardest thing, trying to balance, being a new mom, business, being pregnant, my business, and then of course, like you said, my baby, having my
Yeah.
baby, being
Yes.
a
Mommy.
yeah, being a first time mom, that would be the most beautiful thing that happened
Okay.
this year. And going into 2025, I see myself, which is why I'm doing a rebrand.
Okay.
Um, I see myself getting major contracts, big contracts to work with major companies.
Hmm.
I work with a lot of small businesses, but my goal is to pitch myself to these big brands, big businesses, and work under somebody's marketing team as
Okay.
like a third party, doing all of their voice work,
Hmm.
from the jingles to the infomercials. That's really my goal. I'm trying to go more into corporate side of the
Okay.
jingles and marketing and stuff. So that's all 2025 what we're focusing
Okay.
on. And also next year, I'm focusing on pitching my music more to get sync placements. So to get into movies, to get into shows, to get my music into commercials. So that's what I've mainly been writing for now, not so much writing for myself, but writing to get syncs.
Okay.
So that's where I see myself 2025, making these big contracts,
I
making these
see.
big girl moves. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Just don't forget about Auntie Georgia Lee, because
Never.
I will follow you from Fiverr to wherever you go.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we're gonna end with the anthem that you created this year for us. We started Q Walk Books last November. Actually, it'll be almost a year when we took our Thanksgiving holiday to start building the site, because we wanted people to have a central location to find queer women of color books, because they were like, oh, we can't find you. Where are you?
Mm.
And so we did that. But in doing that, we also wanted to bridge all these communities together, like working with allies like you, people of outside our race, coming together again under that one umbrella of we're all the same. But at the time, again, the original one was a little bit more militant. And we tone that down, because
Yeah.
we want us to come together.
Mhm.
So this is the theme song for Q Out Books, but it can be the theme song for any community. And it's also available on Instagram and TikTok. Tracy, hit it.
We all belong in this space, no matter the color or race. Can't let each other whenever alone. Together we feel, cause this is our home. Bring your truth, bring your light, no matter the struggle, doing this fight. Doctors and leaders creating unite. Our love and our strength will shine so bright. Come as you are and lead to life. Voice every heart, side by side. Together we're stronger, together we rise. Space is for us, so open your eyes. We are the stories, the voices unheard. Breaking the silence, now let's spread the word. We're not just one, we're a part of the whole. No one's alone, we all have a role. We all belong in this space. No matter the color or race, we love each other when we're alone. Together we feel, cause this is our home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know you got a new baby and a family and your busy, busy career. And this was a very last notice request. And as usual, you came through for me. So Shantel, I really appreciate everything you've done for me last year and this year. You're a part of my gratitude list as well. And if y'all want to hear the full album, don't forget it comes out November 29th on any digital download near you. All right, fam.
Yes. I can't
Yes,
wait.
I can't either. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Peace, fam.
Peace.